Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in Rust, talking about that Rust Console Edition for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Next Generations, and everything in between. Sorry, that intro was a little flat. I've been feeling a little under the weather, but, feeling pretty good. So, today we're talking about the power surge delay. Now, we kind of knew this was coming. We kind of braced ourselves for it earlier. I know this has been percolating for quite some time. I know we're very excited for it. It's going to usher in all kinds of things like, not a turret nerf, but like different gameplay around turrets to give it a bit more stability. Man, these are awfully dark. Yeah, that's one of the major things we've really been waiting for because these bad boys are a little OP right now. And it's going to add a lot more gameplay, trap gameplay, just different ways to automate your base, just all kinds of good stuff. And we know it's coming, as we've seen. I know these are from PC here, but we have seen the broadcaster. We've also seen the frequency over on the oil rigs, as it's now in the game. And when you trigger the heavy event, the Chinook event, your page will go off and stuff like that. That will come in with Power Surge. So there's little tinges of it still in the game, and we do know they're working on it. They have confirmed that. It just doesn't look like it's going to be for the PTB for March 2022. Now, real quick, so how this works is we have main or normal Rust, and then we have PTB Rust, which is a separate download. If you have Deluxe or Ultimate and you download it, we basically get these brand new things, and they get polished, and then they get pushed to main branch. This is what we're worried about. Power Surge is going to come to PTB first, and then it was going to go to main branch, but that has been delayed. Here's how we know. Check this out. We go over here real quick. Beep, boop, boop. Okay, so over on the Discord, Pedro says, "Hey, bud, I'm pretty sure this was mentioned before in chat." He was responding to somebody else. Electricity is a big update, and when we first announced it, the memory was not such of a concern. We did some work to it already, but it's going to take some more time because of how much content electricity will have. It's a lot of small things that can really have a huge impact. So it's being worked on, but it's not the next update set to release, which again, they're talking about March 2022. Updates like Oil Rig and Tech Tree also had a lot more requests, so we prioritized those since the impact is much bigger to the players. Now, we're not sure what our PTB update's going to be. We just know it's not going to be Power Surge. There has been some talk about transportation, as we do know horses have gotten a bit of that love. So over here, Pedro confirms it yet again. He says, we also have some transportation on the works. So we do know horses. They have been working on that. We don't think it's cars. We know it's not minis. I guess there's a small percentage that it could be cars, but I doubt it can, because it brings in, you'll have to have electricity with it. There's also new parts that come along with that. But the biggest drawback was that minis would go so fast, some of the older consoles would have a hard time keeping up with the render distance. Here, I'm going to use my admin powers and see what I mean. Once you fly really fast, it's hard to render things in if the system can't really handle it. So I get that. Not saying that it won't come in the game, we just know it's not on the horizon for right now. It's run into memory hurdles. So we know horses are a potential thing, but get this. See this? What about hot air balloons? Say what? I know, right? We barely see these anymore. I'll light this bad boy up and see if it goes all the way up for us. So it uses low grade. They spawn in on the world. They go slow enough, it could possibly be a thing, right? We don't know. Again, there's been no official word, but it could be. This bad boy going up. Okay, so, I mean, if they're saying transportation, and it is something around transportation for this update, we could be looking at horses, we could be looking at hot air balloons, or it could be something entirely different. Maybe it's not transportation at all. Maybe it's a monument or something. I hope it's not in this case. I mean, having more monuments is always a good thing, but since we've been waiting for some other big, chunky content, some really cool stuff, I know, we're all looking for either Power Surge or something like transportation, because we do have 3K maps now, and that is a big deal. Look at that sucker just going. By the way, if they are balloons, they're super hard to control. At least they are for me. I'm so bad at it still. Anyways, I'll take anything. Horses would be great. Hot air balloons would be great. We'll definitely welcome that. You can actually store horses. On the topic of horses or transportation, we don't think we'll get ranches with it either, as that is going to add a bit more to the game. Ranches are a place where, let me show you. Over here, we have a ranch somewhere out here. There we go. It's a place where horses would spawn in. It's most likely, because this is the way it worked on PC, they'll spawn along like the roadsides and stuff, and you'll just pick them up and capture them. They kind of despawn and then respawn based off of, X, Y, and Z variables. But I don't think we'll get a ranch. It'd be cool if we did. Just know that if we have a ranch, I'll have to pay for a saddle. Otherwise, you'll have to capture them in the wild out here and then bring them back to your base and give them some shelter. Fun fact, this is a standard size map right here. It's 4,225 kilometers. And our current max is 3,000. And just so you know, this map is entirely huge, even for PC. So, yeah, we're getting awfully close. A lot of people are like, hey, what about 5K or 6K maps? I'm like, that's entirely too big for PC, and we have 300 people on here sometimes. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. 3K is a lot. So, anyways, that's what we have so far. We just want to let you guys know that there was a delay for this, sadly. But I think the silver lining is that it looks like it is still close. We are seeing things like the broadcast, so hang tight. We just don't know how long it's going to be. But I do think it's going to be relatively soon. I know we've been saying that for a hot minute, but you know, it's almost been a year since they announced it, so something's got to happen, right? But I got to tell you, I'm super glad that they did mention something more specific here. And if there is a bigger delay, give us like a reason and stuff, and we'll set our expectations. The only reason why we're super hot to trot for Power Surge is because they announced it. And, you know, we get that, you know, things can happen. It's just, you know, communication's always good for us. Then we can kind of, you know, get excited for the next stuff that's coming through. So there you go. That's all we have right now. If you found this useful and helpful, be sure to drop a like. Rest assured, as soon as this does happen, we will be streaming it. We will be showing you, telling you another excellent reason to subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications. And, yeah, hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye. Let's get in the car. Into the drink.